Just 6 days after the start of the national lockdown in March 2020, builder Robert Needham shot dead his partner Kelly Fitzgibbons and their 2 daughters, Ava, who was 4, and Lexi, who was 2.
A quiet suburban home in Woodmancote, West Sussex. Inside, a mother watches her 2 young daughters, 4-year-old Ava and 2-year-old Lexi, playing together, their laughter filling the air. But on March 29th, 2020, that laughter stopped forever. What if the person who promised to protect you became the very thing you should have feared? What if behind the family photos and perfect smiles, darkness waited, cold, calculated, and deadly? This is the dark truth. We don't just tell stories, we unravel them. Before we begin, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Watch until the end as we piece together the devastating events that destroyed an entire family in a single night, and ask the question nobody can answer: why? Kelly Fitzgibbons was everything you'd want in a friend. Warm, caring, with an infectious laugh that could light up any room. She and her twin sister Emma were inseparable, best friends who'd grown up doing everything together in Birmingham. By her mid-20s, Kelly longed for something real. She was tired of the party scene and wanted to settle down, find someone to build a life with. Around 2006, she met Robert Needham. Rob was different, quiet, introverted, almost shy. He was a self-employed builder who seemed dependable and devoted. Within a year, they were living together. Kelly told everyone she'd finally found the one. But there were things about Rob that Kelly didn't know, secrets buried beneath his quiet exterior, secrets that would prove fatal. In 2015, Kelly gave birth to Ava. She was absolutely over the moon. Motherhood completed her in ways nothing else ever had. 2 years later, in 2017, Lexi arrived, a cheeky little girl with wild curly hair who was Kelly's mini-me. The family lived in the upstairs flat of Rob's mother's house in Woodmancote, a peaceful, detached property perfect for raising children. To everyone on the outside, they seemed like a normal, happy family. Rob appeared to be a devoted father, always gentle with the girls. But beneath the surface, cracks were forming. Rob spent more time away, working during the week, staying longer than necessary, going on weekend fishing trips. Kelly felt the distance growing. And once, Rob confided to a friend something chilling. He found life quite boring, an admission that suggested something dark was brewing inside him. What Kelly didn't know was that Rob had been living a double life for years. In 2016, when Ava was just 1 month old, Robert Needham applied for his first shotgun license. The timing was bizarre, a newborn at home, and his mind was on getting a gun. The police discovered Rob's dishonesty. They knew he'd hidden his criminal record and years of mental health treatment. And yet, despite all these red flags, Sussex police granted Robert Needham a shotgun license anyway. In 2019, Rob even upgraded to a firearms license for more powerful weapons. When police tried to do a background check with his GP, the surgery said they didn't have capacity. Rob was granted the license regardless. But Rob was hiding something else, something even more sinister. In 2017, Rob visited a specialist concerned about pain in his nose. After examination, the consultant delivered a diagnosis Rob never shared with Kelly. The damage wasn't cancer. It was caused by chronic, long-term coke abuse. Rob was a functioning addict. He'd been using coke for months, possibly years, and it had eaten away at the inside of his nose. Hair sample analysis would later confirm extensive drug use. Kelly had absolutely no idea her partner was addicted to cocaine and hiding mental health problems that spanned decades. By early 2020, the relationship was fracturing. On February 5th, 2020, Kelly sent Rob a message that changed everything. "I think we should have a break and see how we both feel." "This is not working," Rob's reply was emotionless. "If that's how you really feel." The couple faced mounting financial pressure. They'd borrowed £20,000 from Rob's mother. Kelly had £3,000 in credit card debt, and Rob had a £14,000 loan outstanding. They owned one rental property and had just purchased a second on March 4th, hoping rental income would ease the burden. Then, on March 20th, 2020, the UK government announced a nationwide COVID-19 lockdown. Kelly immediately worried they wouldn't find tenants. The stress was overwhelming. And on that exact same day, March 20th, 2020, Robert Needham walked into a firearms dealer and purchased a brand new semi-automatic shotgun. He told the dealer he needed it to shoot pigeons. 9 days later, he would use it to murder his entire family. Between March 20th and March 28th, Rob desperately tried to contact a cocaine supplier 3 separate times. Each attempt was unsuccessful. On Friday, March 27th, Rob suggested the whole family go for a walk, unusual behavior that Kelly found surprising but pleasant. On Saturday, March 28th, Rob spent the morning building a playhouse in the garden for Ava and Lexi, something his daughters would never use. That evening, the family ordered Chinese takeaway. Kelly texted her twin sister Emma as usual, chatting about normal things. Everything seemed fine. But Rob, who was usually a heavy drinker on Saturday nights, drank very little alcohol. He wanted to remain in control. His mind was made up. The gun was in the house. The ammunition was ready, and nobody suspected a thing. It was the first Sunday of lockdown. The world was quiet, streets empty, families isolated. That evening, Kelly put Ava and Lexi to bed in the master bedroom, something they often did on weekends. She turned on a DVD for them and let them fall asleep. Later, Kelly went to the bathroom, and that's when Robert Needham retrieved his shotgun. He walked into the bedroom where his daughters lay sleeping. Ava, 4 years old with her gentle nature. Lexi, 2 years old, cheeky and full of life. He raised the gun and shot them both at point-blank range. Kelly must have heard the shots. She came running from the bathroom, desperate, terrified. She threw her arm up instinctively, a mother's futile attempt to protect herself. The bullet tore through her arm and shoulder. Wounded and bleeding, Kelly somehow made it into the bedroom. She fell to her knees beside the bed, reaching for Ava and Lexi, trying to save them even as her own life slipped away. Robert Needham walked up behind her, placed the barrel of the shotgun against the back of her head, and fired. Kelly Fitzgibbons, the devoted mother, the beloved sister, the woman who lit up every room, was gone. Rob then shot the family dog before turning the gun on himself. But toxicology results later revealed something chilling. Robert Needham had virtually no alcohol in his system, no cocaine, no drugs of any kind. He was completely sober, fully aware, entirely in control. This wasn't a crime of passion or intoxication. It was cold, calculated, and deliberate. The next day, Emma Ambler tried to reach her twin sister. No response. The silence was deafening, completely unlike Kelly. Emma called other family members. Nobody had heard from Kelly. A horrible feeling crept over Emma, and she told her husband, "I think Rob has killed them all." Her husband laughed. It seemed impossible. But Emma knew. Kelly's uncle arrived at the house and used a ladder to climb to the second floor. What he found inside would haunt him forever. Kelly's body lay on the bedroom floor in a pool of blood. Ava and Lexi were still in bed, cold and lifeless. Rob's body was in the hallway, the shotgun beside him. When Emma got the call, "They're all dead," she collapsed, screaming, her brain shutting down to protect her from unbearable reality. In July 2022, over 2 years after the murders, an inquest took place in Horsham. Assistant West Sussex coroner Bridget Dolan QC ruled that Kelly, Ava, and Lexi were unlawfully killed. Robert Needham's death was suicide. The investigation uncovered Rob's lies, his cocaine addiction, Kelly's text about wanting a break, but none of it explained why he chose to annihilate his family. Rob had no history of violence, no record of domestic abuse. To everyone, he was a quiet builder who loved his family. In 2024, a domestic homicide review confirmed what Kelly's sister Emma had been saying. If Rob hadn't been given access to a gun so easily, Kelly, Ava, and Lexi would still be alive today. Emma threw herself into campaigning for gun law reform. She established the Kelly Fitzgibbons Foundation, fighting to prevent other families from suffering the same fate. Finally, in August 2025, 5 years after the tragedy, the UK government implemented stricter firearms licensing laws. Kelly Fitzgibbons was warm, caring, endlessly funny. Her love for her daughters was absolute. Ava was beautiful and gentle, a little girl who should have grown up to do amazing things. Lexi was cheeky and full of life, destined to make her mark on the world. They deserved to live. They deserved futures. Robert Needham took all of that away in a few horrifying minutes. Was it the relationship breakdown, financial stress, lockdown, cocaine addiction, or something darker hidden behind his quiet demeanor? We may never know. But what we do know is this: the system failed Kelly, Ava, and Lexi. A man lied on his gun application. Police discovered those lies, and they gave him the weapon anyway. This is the dark truth. We don't just tell stories, we demand justice. We fight for change. We refuse to let victims be forgotten. If this case affected you, if you believe in Kelly's fight for safer gun laws, subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell. Share this video. Let Kelly, Ava, and Lexi's story reach as many people as possible. Drop a comment below with your thoughts. Let's keep this conversation going. Awareness is the first step toward change. Rest in peace, Kelly Fitzgibbons. Rest in peace, Ava and Lexi Needham. You deserved so much better.